Oh, there's a little pause. It's preparing the live stream, something I forgot that I have to do. So we're still waiting. Maybe there's one more setup thing, which is good. It calms me. So, Chris, are you here? Are you waiting?
I am.
Cool. I'll be right down.
Great.
Hi. Are you here? Are you waiting?
I
Cool. All right, I have to change my audio settings because something weird is happening.
am.
I hear myself twice.
Hey man, something weird is always happening with us on these road trips, right?
Okay, let's see if every road trip is a challenge, right?
Yeah.
And every dance is new. So good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
All right, let me just make sure that our passengers are ready to rock. Like they're ready. I'm ready. Are you ready?
I am.
All right. Road trip to Fairfax. Let's roll. You're driving.
I
Put it in,
am.
put it in
Keep it
gear.
between the thumbs. There we go. That's how I do it.
Yeah. Well, this is our fourth road trip. At
I
least
know, right?
we're sharing with the world, right?
It's like officially a month's worth of dances.
Wow. We're
Four
getting better.
Fridays.
Yeah.
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 Getting the groove on, getting to
Four
know
stellar
the
DJs.
yeah.
You know who I was listening to just literally yesterday on Mixcloud, because I like the Mixcloud app because of like the sets that I listen to. They're either like 1 to 2 hours, and it's just a nice solid set that you put on. Is Kimba Jade actually from New Zealand? And
Uh,
Tyler's actually brought a couple DJs from New Zealand. One is Trillion,
uh,
who's also gone by. I think he also goes by the Harmonizer, if I remember
oh,
correctly.
my name. That's
I
fine.
think so. I think so. Yeah, he's got a couple aliases, but him and Kimba Jade have come and spun before. I think Kimba's done. I don't remember if she's done suites as well. I know that Trillion definitely has done both, but I distinctly remember her coming to Fairfax and just absolutely crushing it, just killing it,
Oh,
just killing it.
right.
Yeah, she's
All
pretty amazing.
right.
So
That is
yeah, if you check her
awesome.
out on Mixcloud, she's got some pretty good sets. She's got quite a few on there, as a matter of fact.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't really go there mostly because I am uh creating my own sets 3 days a week,
Ah.
as you
Oh
know,
yeah. Oh
right?
yeah. You're
And quite honestly, my music's a little different than the real ecstatic vibe and a little different than I think what you really like,
uh-huh.
based on what I think you like.
Yeah, you're right.
Because I am, for one thing, it's only 30 minutes set. This is for folks who are listening and want to join me on Zoom Daily Dance Break. Yeah, that's a thing I do. Right now it's Mondays. I always forget the day. Wednesday and Thursday, and it's at 12:30 at Pacific time. So middle of the day, like a lunch break, Zoom Daily Dance Break. And I do 30 minutes of a set that's new and different every day. And then we sit and chat, kind of like you and I are now
Hmm.
afterwards. So, but because it's a short set, I can't put these lengthy, really soupy, really like, nuanced, long songs. I don't think because I want to bring people in slowly a little bit and then bring them up and then I want to bring them out and I want to have an emotional sort of ride where we start like, okay, okay, life's getting better. Oh, now it's good. Now it's fast. Now it's wonderful. And now we're going to come out in a heart space where we're all ready to just kind of
Hmm.
float into, open heart sharing. So that's so mostly I have found a lot of great songs from Pam, who I've talked about here before.
Yeah.
She has a knack, some of her stuff, and then I steal them. She steals them too. And then I rearrange them. And I was listening to a set today. I like to view my sets when I take my bike ride around the lake.
Mm-hmm.
because I really hear,
Oh,
yeah, got my earbuds in and I'm like, oh yeah, oh, I can really hear the words on that song that I just thought had the right beat. So I put it in that order in the playlist and then I can saturate with it. And then I've heard it a few times by the time I'm dancing with people,
oh,
you
nice.
know, and and I'm also clear that it doesn't have any weird, nasty stuff that I don't want to be broadcasting or sharing.
Smart. No, that's
Yeah.
smart. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I've come across that a couple times where I'm like, "Oh, that's more explicit than I thought. I didn't really listen to it through and not really the vibe I want to be sharing." So, most of my people, don't they tolerate it. They don't care. And one of my guys, he's Joel comes all the time and he's 80 something and he dances with me 3 days a week, plus he dances on Sunday, plus other dance, but he can barely hear, so he can hear the rhythms, but the words he misses somewhat, which is kind of cool. I don't know.
Okay.
I want to be able to hear him. That was a weird tangent. Anyway, who's our
No.
DJ tonight? Do we have a DJ in
Do
Fairfax
we
that you have figured out? Is it the person from that you were telling me from where the hell were you
from New
talking about?
Zealand?
New
Kimba.
Zealand.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Kimba Jade. Yeah, actually, it is her tonight. So that's why I
Woo!
was like getting all pumped off the Mixcloud sets
Eh,
off
that's a
that.
good one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And for anybody who hasn't like seen Fairfax, it's Fairfax Community Church, and it's on, I would say, the western side of Fairfax. Like you got to drive through
Yeah.
downtown. I think that's Sir Francis Drake, and then you kind of pop out the other side, and then you've gone too far if you like start to get into like the dark rural area where there's like no city lights or
You're
what
going
have
through all
you.
the redwoods and on your way to the coast. You have
Yeah,
gone
yeah,
too
yeah, yeah.
far.
If you're hitting
Yeah.
Molinas, then yeah, you may want to hit a Yui. um, but it's such a beautiful church on a Friday night just because of like all the colorful lights. It's got all these open windows. Of course, the pews are removed, so you got like a complete open dance floor. That's one thing about ecstatic dance is that it's always on fully furnished hardwood floors so that you could dance barefoot or ballet shoes or whatever you
Fully
feel comfortable in.
finished. Is that what you meant? Fully finished, not
Fully
fully
finished.
furnished. It's not
No, no,
furnished.
no, fully
It's
finished. Yeah,
finished.
yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Appreciate
just
that. Yeah.
just in case, like others,
I'm
there's
all soft
furniture
skills.
everywhere.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's a fully furnished, but
It's
the
something
pews are
like that.
removed. Yeah.
That's right.
Like, Chris,
PU,
you
we
don't
got
make
them out
sense.
of here.
Pew, pew.
Yeah, because some are churches for sure, for real. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah, no, they are. They're legitimate churches. So, but just the lighting and the like artwork that they have in there, it's just absolutely stunning. But it's just such a nice little intimate space, and the coloring and just like the feeling vibe on a Friday night. It's just like it's a perfect way to like end the week. It's like, all right, here comes the weekend. I'm not like fully like Saturday night charged because I'm still pooped from Friday work, but I
yeah.
want to like get out and like and dance,
Get
and
some
it's
air, get out of this
yeah.
our city and our little place. And the drive is, we go through the crush of Oakland and the freeways, and then we get to the bridge, and then it kind of opens up. And once we get to wherever it is, and it's really like you're rural, almost riding on the way into Fairfax, right?
Hmm.
And then, and it's dark, and then that we pull into that parking lot and park and get out, and you walk up the steps. There's like 3 or 4 steps, and open the door, and this is kind of hallway with someone sitting at the desk who takes the little money or the cards, and you sign in, and then you go through the curtains, and then here's this room, right? Kind of low lit but colorful lights, and the DJ's up front. There's a little stage up front that's carpeted where people do stretching, and a couple mats in the back where people do their yoga or their stretching, and boom, we're in, and the music's playing, and it's like, okay,
Yeah,
right, let's
and being a Tyler event, what's really cool about that is that so Tyler's got 3 dances. He's got Wednesday night Sweets Ballroom, and I know I'm kind of like dating myself pre-COVID, but he's got Wednesday night Sweets Ballroom, Friday night Fairfax, and then Sunday morning at Church of Eight Wheels. Which the Sweets Ballroom and the Church of Eight Wheels, he does yoga ahead of time. But what I noticed about the Fairfax one is he kind of sometimes does some different stuff in there, and like they've
yeah.
done like Thai couples massage, but you don't need a couple to come in to like learn. Another one that he's done that just has blown my mind, that's kind of like his own thing, is a meta qigong.
Oh,
Yeah.
medical, yeah, medi meaning
No, no,
medical, right?
META, meta
Oh,
qigong.
I thought it
Yeah,
was
yeah. It's a
medical base. Okay,
no, not medical,
what
meta.
do I know?
So
Yeah,
yeah,
not
yeah.
much.
And it's a hybrid of qigong that just basically, well, it blew my mind as far as like trying to bring abstract concepts into like a physical form, such as like rooting like weeds out of the ground or picking apples out of the sky. I'm not going to do it justice if I try to describe it. But
but I like that.
it's
I know when I teach contact, a lot of it has to do with when I'm asking people to be in certain like movements or postures, it's so much easier to reach them and have them find what I'm asking for if I'm relating it to an actual um, physical thing they know. Like, well, how do you lean against a wall or climb up over a fence, or, as opposed to, tip forward on your toes and keep your back straight and, trying to do it through some kind of mental way. Because our bodies, let's reach for a weed, bend, right? Bend and stretch, reach for the stars. Here comes Jupiter. There goes Mars. Did you do that as a kid?
no, I
Oh
did
my
not. But
I am so
that was
dating
kind of cool.
myself. That was something we did like in kindergarten when we were doing our calisthenics. Like, I don't know if I can do it with the headset, but bend and stretch, reach for the stars. Here comes Jupiter, there goes Mars, and when you're 5 years old, you're seeing Jupiter and Mars, right?
Wow.
You're not doing calisthenics
I
or
went to the wrong school.
exercise. Yeah, I went to the wrong school too. I think school was wrong, but that's another story. We're not going to
Yeah.
dive into that right now. We need chapters for that. So, Chris, you got here really fast from Portland, Oregon. I'm amazed. Do you guys know? Remember last week he was heading off to Portland, Oregon? Chris talked about that. You said it in the podcast, I remember.
I did say it. I do.
I took notes.
I know.
And so, we're spoofing. He's really still in Portland, but I just thought that was kind of cool. Like, you just came to Oakland and picked me up, and we're on our way to Fairfax. That's a hell of a drive.
That's a hell of a haul ass. Yeah. How's the weather right now? So here's the thing. So I'm native to the San Francisco Bay Area, but I've been living up in Portland since 2008, but I've had a bounce back and forth. And since 2014, yeah, I've been in the San Francisco Bay Area, just dealing with family BS. But anyway, neither here nor there. But I try to make a road trip up as often as possible, and unfortunately, I haven't been able to because of COVID, essentially. And I just don't feel comfortable flying. But I had to drive up here in order to see my doctors because I didn't want to change my doctors. I've known them since 2008 and have established a rapport with the office that just didn't make it worth it to try to find one locally in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So that's the main reason is actually I'm out of contact lenses and I need to renew my prescription so I can do more virtual dance. So if you think about it, dance is why I'm up here.
Oh shit, you're not wearing glasses.
No, I'm not wearing glasses. Yeah. I mix it up. If you watch the podcast, I've at least done, I think, 3 different looks, 2 different glasses, and then one with contact lenses. But it's just been circumstances, all it's been. It's just because I had them in earlier, was doing other stuff. But
yeah, right. That's what they all say. Oh, yeah,
that's what they all.
It's not my vanity. I'm not just trying to pose and be a poser.
It was laundry day,
No, you look fine. It's a casual podcast. And besides that, we're going to strip everything off and be in our dance clothes when we get to Fairfax anyway, right?
Totes,
and, yeah. Well, not naked, but you get hot, you get sweaty. It's a workout and a play out and a blowout. And I could keep going. Do you want me to?
You already know the answer to that, man. That's why I stayed silent. I was like, yeah, go for it,
I was making it up. I just riffing until I'm like, should I keep going? I don't know. Is anybody watching?
You're like the scat. You're like the jazz scat of like ecstatic dance. Ba-da-ba-ba, coming out to the dance floor.
Here we go. Anybody want to play? Yeah, join me. Yeah. I missed that. There was a couple of the songs I was listening to today that are going to be in my playlist, my set tomorrow. And a lot of it was sort of scatty and sort of jazzy. And I was like, oh, I don't hear this anywhere else. I guess I picked it up from Pam. And then I found some things that when you're on Spotify, folks, I use Spotify to create my playlist because I'm just not a full-fledged 1.5 years, 10 years of experience trained DJ. That takes a lot if you're really going to do all that. But Spotify has made it pretty easy. And so I will pull down like Pam's, she makes her playlist public. So I just throw it in my Spotify account. And then I listen to the songs and I pull out ones and stick them in what do I call it? Like the first phase of a playlist, because then I arrange them and stuff. So I listen a little bit. And Yeah, and then when I'm doing that, Spotify will show me similar tunes. So it's kind of and they're pretty good at that. They're not bad, you know. There's stuff that's crazy, wacky that doesn't work at all, but I found a lot of music that way. And honestly, I never thought I could do DJ. As all the years I've been teaching dance and contact dance and wanted to do music, and it was always just so complicated on the computer. My
Hmm.
iTunes, would scramble things. I couldn't find them. I couldn't search for them. I didn't know how to categorize them. But I put together a pretty cool system on Spotify, and so it's painless and fun, which is important for me. If it's
Yeah,
yeah, if it's painful, forget it. And if it's not fun, why am I doing this? Right?
totally, totally. We've asked ourselves about that before, especially with the podcast too. It's like we're not having fun doing this, and we need to
Yeah.
reevaluate the situation,
Yeah. What are
right?
we doing?
Yeah, it's like why are yeah, totes.
yeah. So tell me about the lava lamp. I am noticing you have new decor in your Portland, which we never talked about Portland yet, except that you're there for medical contacts. But so we talked about it. But anyway, that is a
And to
lava lamp.
visit. I mean, I this is this so this is my house. This is where I really live. I actually tried to relocate last year to come back up here, but work didn't permit it at the time. So yeah, so
Right.
I'm actually in my room, and the reason like you see like this weird lighting like this is
That
it's me
L
trying to
shape.
yeah, the L shape. Wait,
Mhm.
actually, let me move that.
Oh,
It's a cat scratching post. That's what it is.
it's an invisible one. It's a
Yeah. It's a shadow post.
it's a
That's what it
burn
is.
mark. Yeah.
Uh, but I'm using it because it's a perfect platform. It's got everything all set up, and also too because my lights on the wall are in that direction. If I were to turn it around, which is the normal way that it faces, then the lighting would be terrible with it, and I'd look like a silhouette. So I'm using this to have it all set up to be able to work with the lighting that I've got. All my lights aren't working in the room too. That's been kind of like an ongoing issue. But anyway, to answer your question about the lava lamp, I'm trying to.
Are we
I'm,
really doing this? Yes, we are.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Well, I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember where the heck I did get that because you kind of threw me off when you're like, "Well, let's talk about your new edition." I'm like, "Well, I think it's just a
I've
new
had it
venue for the."
forever. I just home now. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm just home now. Yeah, exactly. But I honestly
Finally.
don't remember. And here's the other thing too. Okay, so we're gonna do a little show and tell. Hang on one second.
Oh, yay.
One
Okay.
second.
Just
Hang on.
don't turn around and show us your butt. We did that last week. We don't
Yeah,
need
yeah,
to.
yeah. That grew old in a hurry. And apologies for that. And hey, you know what? I'm actually glad you're bringing that up real quick because the reason why, if my ass crack did show, it's because
No,
I. Oh, it
it
didn't.
didn't.
Okay,
No,
good. Because
I was
because I've been
joking.
losing a lot of weight. It's because
Your
I'm in
pants?
between. Yeah, I'm in between sizes right now. So it's like I'm a little too young for lipstick, but I'm a little too old for dolls, which
Yeah.
isn't true.
Yeah. I like that saying. I'm always kind of wear somewhere between a small and a medium when I wear pants. Who is this?
Yeah. So anyway,
Okay.
speaking of
Sorry, the
dolls,
Cupid doll.
yeah, exactly. So all right. I guess it's
Folks,
okay to.
for anybody listening that isn't watching, he just showed me a kind of like scruffy haired Hawaiian, so it looks sort of like a Cupid doll with a lei in the hair and a lei around the neck and some kind of cute pink lips. And now she's like looking at me and I'm sort of weirding out. Who is
I
that?
know, right? So anyway, so at one point in time, I guess I'm just going to go for it. So I'm just going to start talking. But
Please
at one
do.
point in time, I was married, and I was married for 14 years, and I got divorced. And me and my ex-wife, we're totally amicable now. We
Sure,
chat
sure.
all the time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, no, we're very close actually. But anyway, when we got divorced, I had to rush down to the Bay Area to like finish, to take care of my parents because my dad had a fall and my mom needed to be placed somewhere. So unfortunately, I had to finish the divorce remotely. So it's kind of like work from home. It's like divorce
Oh, wow.
from
Remote
afar, but
divorce. Yes.
remote divorce. Yeah, but it worked out. It all worked out. But one of the
You got to
wives,
slow these stories down. These details are whizzing by so fast, and
are
every single detail is a whole new story, Chris. But go
well,
ahead.
this has to do with the
I'll let you
lava
run.
lamp. I'm
Okay.
answering your question about the lava lamp is actually what I'm doing. So
Oh my God.
you got
Okay,
to
go.
remember, you asked for this. You wanted this.
It's
But
my
one of
fault,
the
folks. Always my fault. Just remember that. Okay, go,
Yeah.
Chris.
One of the things that I've had like a huge phobia since I was very young is I've had a problem with dolls, and it's because of the movie Barbarella and the little
Oh yeah.
dolls with the, yeah, exactly. I had to go like to a kid shrink and everything for it. Yeah, totally. It freaked me out. So
Another
anyway,
trauma. This is a trauma that you don't find in every textbook, but Chris can tell you about it. So listen up. Tell us about it.
but anyway, one of my ex-wife's like little like farewell things is that she left like a really scary looking doll behind, and she put it on the chair that I'm sitting on now and put it right towards the bed, just kind of facing me. And it was that doll and this doll, but for whatever reason that other doll didn't work out in the relationship, but I decided to keep this one. And I think this doll and the lava lamp were one of the two, like, few things that actually I held on to from the divorce. So all the cookware is gone, the Bavarian bar stools, all that other stuff's gone. But somehow I ended up with the lava lamp, and I don't know where that came from, and I don't know where this doll came from, but they're here now, and I'm keeping them.
Did I even hear you? Was she one of the two dolls where you had a doll in the chair and a doll in the bed facing each other? And this is
No,
one?
she was not. She was
Oh.
no. Yeah, she just happened to be on the little nightstand, but she wasn't like looking at me. Like the other one was like sitting there. But it was like one of those antique dolls, you know, it's not like one of the little cute ones. It's like all teeth, you know, big eyes, doesn't blink.
Oh, I do know the one, and the teeth are completely white, and the eyes, maybe they go blinky, you know, with the eyelashes, you know. Did you remember those?
Oh. Are you kidding? Wait, hold on.
Uh-oh.
No, yeah, hold on.
It's show and tell. This is our show and tell episode.
It's show and tell. Yeah.
That means I have to describe for people, because these are eventually going to be non-videos, or they're optionally only audios, or however you say that in, what is it? Taquito talk. Yeah. Oh, okay. Wait, what is this? Oh,
so you're talking that doll, right? Where
yes,
like if you like
winking.
lay it on its back, it's sleeping, and then it looks
Chris,
up like that.
Chris, I know you didn't see it, but I got to tell you what happened when you put that doll. Now, this is folks that are listening only, and for those that are watching, excuse me, I'm just going to reiterate what we're seeing here. But it's a long stripy cane thing, kind of like Moses's cane, and at the tip top end is a little doll head, and there's little ribbons with little like jingle bells hanging below that. And the doll, he shows this cane sideways. You didn't see this, Chris, but the doll did this. It winked. It didn't close both eyes. It winked the way you were. I've never seen it. Okay, family entertainment. Yes.
So that's from Eugene, Oregon. So basically, me and the ex-wife used to go to Fairy Worlds every year, which is, it was dubbed the Fairy Festival. And the best way I could describe it, it was like
Chris, I got to pause you. Just going to pause you and just tell my fans, you know, guys, I'm just finding this out about Chris. So, you know, I thought I knew him after a year of driving like to Fairfax, but I now realize I did all the talking for that year. I think I did all the talking. So now I get to find out who Chris is.
Yeah. I'm just pulling a harmony, that's all.
So tell me about these fairy, what was it? Fairy?
So yeah, Fairy Worlds, and it's spelled it's spelled F-A-E-R-I-E, not F-A-I-R-Y.
Is it Fairy World?
No. It's live your legend. Like, no, like actual fairies in the forest, what have you. And the best way that I could describe it is it's like Woodstock meets. Yeah, it is. No, I get serious about it. Yeah, I really do. It's Woodstock meets Burning Man in a Lord of the Rings environment where you could dress up however you want. Like, you totally live your legend. If you want to dress like a caveman, if you want to dress like a stormtrooper, it's a total cosplay. But most people would do like sort of like fairy fantasy kind of stuff. And me and the I'm
Tinkerbell.
Yeah.
Oh, look at my background. Yes, I wonder.
You would totally fit in. Yeah. Fairy wings.
These are
huge.
butterflies. These aren't fairies, but I like fairies. I have a fairy picture.
I
so
got
anyway,
wings under here.
did you? I have. Yeah. Did you dress up as a fairy?
No, actually. So I was a jester. The ex-wife was a fairy.
That's the jester.
That's the jester. It's amazing what you can do.
I did that. Okay.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do with a run to Home Depot, Joann's Fabrics Superstore, and
you
Michael's.
Made that.
Well, it was a combination project, and I have to give credit to the ex-wife. She's the one that actually like came up with the idea.
Does she have a name?
Allie. Yeah.
Thank you.
Better. Yeah.
The ex-wife. It's kind of, you know,
just like,
kind of impersonal.
Yeah, I know, but I'm careful with like names. This is like my first podcast. I don't want to just start like throwing names out there of people because I'm just trying to be like
right, Chris. But people could probably Google you and find all your Facebook posts from back when you were with Allie and Allie, right? Did I get it right?
Allie, yeah. They just look on my page. I mean, that was the great thing about our divorce is that it was amicable. So if you look at my Facebook post and you scroll far enough, you just see us hanging out doing shit.
You're together, and then you're not.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like, I mean, that was a remote divorce, right? So it's just like.
Well, I mean, it was a remote divorce only because of the family thing. And she was the one that said, you need to go down there. You're terrible.
I'm trying to joke with you, but you're really in it.
God.
It's okay. It's
I am.
okay.
Yeah,
It's
exactly. When I
okay.
start talking about the divorce, I'm like, oh, I want to be careful of what I say. It's like,
I'm going to cure you of that. All right. You're going
all
to
right.
watch me make a fool of myself over and over again on this podcast, and maybe it will give you permission to just not give a DAMN.
Sounds good.
Oh, wait.
I'll
But see,
follow
that
your
was a
lead.
little, but that was damn serious, and we don't want any of
That
that
was,
here.
yeah.
Like,
Why did, I was waiting for you to say FUCK, and then like you
I
threw that out
know.
there. I was like,
I
oh, that
don't
was a
know what
letdown.
happened.
I'm
I
sorry,
don't
that
know
was an
what happened.
LETDOWN.
I don't know about podcasts. Is that going to get bleeped? No, I think people can say that stuff. Anyway, it was, yeah, you don't give it. You don't give it. I was going to say shit, actually. Don't give a
Yeah.
shit. I'm
Yeah.
more familiar with giving a shit than giving a fuck. So
Really, because I'm more
whatever.
of a fuck than a shit. Yeah.
It's-
Interesting. Maybe it's a generational thing. I don't
think
know.
so.
Did you use fuck growing up a lot?
I
'Cause-
don't know why I pose picking shit instead of fuck, but I use fuck when I'm pissed. And so, but don't give a shit is like a lighter version. It's like, oh, I don't give a shit, but it's like, fuck that. You know what I mean? That's my difference in the two.
Oh, okay.
uses.
All right. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. So I don't know if it's generation or me or male, female, or what other political, whatever identity we might split ourselves. What do they call identity politic? Like how many different identities? Don't get me on that track. I'm just not, I'm not happy with that going on in the culture.
I hear you.
Because
Yeah.
everybody's an individual, right? And everybody's got enough identities and enough people inside that you could just like, which combination are you going to pick and to fit into which group so that you can be opposed to what other group? Okay, that was a political track. Okay.
That was prison.
You're looking serious.
Yeah. I was thinking prison, man. Got to stay with your own kind, man.
Okay. I have the
You get
perfect cure.
shamed.
I got the cure for that. How are we doing for time? I'm looking at the clock. My clock's
I don't know.
up there,
I know,
folks.
right?
Like I have a clock on my computer, but I have this big round one, and I'm always like doing that to see that it's actually over there. I'm crazy. Somebody on the dance floor who I danced with a couple times, and I don't even remember his name because I've danced with thousands of people, one-off dances. I just dance once and maybe they disappear. And some people I dance many times, but there's so many hundreds and hundreds of people. And I think he was gone for years, and he came back and he was like, he saw me in the front at Ecstatic Dance in Oakland on Sunday morning, and he lit up and he came and he danced with me. And it's like, I knew him, but I couldn't remember who he was, because I probably never even really said more than a few words to him, but we had some fun dance or two or three. And at the end of the dance, he came up to me and he goes, Harmony, you're just the right amount of crazy. So that's my truth. And so now I'm going to read from Hafiz. Are you familiar with Hafiz? I was going to research, and this is backwards, so like I'm not going to even hit the mirror, but it's Hafiz, and he's like a Persian poet from like the 14th or 15th century. I should have done that research. It's probably off by 200 years, but nevertheless. I read this in my daily dance break, I think on Monday, so recent. Opened it to random and said, oh, let's read this. You ready?
I am.
Don't get too serious, but you got to listen to this with a little bit of a mischievous ear, maybe. That might help you. Because Hafiz was like, he was like a mystic, and he was like enlightened, and he was happy. And he was happy, and he was so happy that he couldn't figure out he was like trying to help other people be happy, basically, and say like, let go of your bullshit and just be grateful and be happy. And that's kind of his theme. Anyway, for those of you who don't know Hafiz. So this one I like. Why aren't we screaming drunks? Why aren't we screaming drunks? That's the name of the title. The name of the title. That's redundant. Okay. Here we go.
Get you. I get you.
I'm trying to read and look at the screen. It's impossible. So I'm going to just read. The sun once glimpsed God's true nature and has never been the same. Thus, that radiant sphere constantly pours its energy upon this earth, and does he from behind the veil. Let me read that again. I'm just not in my reading mode here. I'm starting it from the beginning. The sun once glimpsed God's true nature and has never been the same. Thus, that radiant sphere constantly pours its energy upon this earth, as does he from behind the veil. With a wonderful God like that, why isn't everyone a screaming drunk? Hafiz Hafiz's guess is this: any thought that you are better or less than any other man quickly breaks the wine glass. Shatter, shatter. So just don't compare yourself to anyone. There's nobody like you. We're all unique. We're all deserving of love. We're all capable of loving, and creating space for connection. And that's the soft note for me. And that's actually what sustains me. And honestly, it took me years, Chris, to find a place inside myself that I could love. Hallelujah! I made it. That was an interesting going from crazy, fast talking to joking to serious metaphysical speak and then back out again.
Yeah, I appreciate you slowing it down anyway.
Good, me too. I was getting like, whoo.
Don't you do that on the road sometimes where you just get like a little too excited and the next thing you know, you're like going 80, 85 and you're like, oh, fuck.
Zzz,
You're like,
yeah.
gotta slow that roll, man. Yeah. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I really like the slowing and the pausing because we live in such a fast society. And I know even my mind, I wake up in the morning and all of a sudden immediately there's like 100 things, they're dancing and like I'm, depending on which one I focus on, I'm either feeling wonderful or shitty or in the middle or, and it's like to get it all slowed down. You know what I do is I get up now. My really wonderful kind of newish ritual is the first thing I do is I jump in the shower. I mean, immediately. And I take a hot shower and then I turn it full cold for at least 2 minutes. Full cold. And I just embrace the cold. Like I don't freeze or tighten or want to get out. It's like it does something to my whole body. This is one of those biohacks. We talked about biohacks, I think, in the first or second episode. And this comes from Wim Hof or Wim Hof, Wimhof,
Yes.
right? You've
heard
that.
Okay. Yeah.
But honestly, and I have much more history with cold water than this, but just every single morning now, no matter how I wake up, and I often wake up a little bit like maybe crotchety or grouchy or stiff or whatever, that just kind of like, whew, and I get out and I dry off and I'm like, yeah, bring it. Whatever the day has, my whole like chemical soup nervous system has come to a place of well-being, shall we call it, just total well-being. And I highly recommend that you try that if you haven't yet. And so 2 things. One is if that sounds like insanity to you, because and you, Chris, or anyone else listening, because you think, I hate cold water, I just freeze it. The key is to actually use your mind. For me, I look forward to it and I open to it. And it's this rush of sensation. And the only time that it starts to feel, if it ever does, like too much, is when I start to think, oh, I'm getting cold. If I don't think that and worry about it and like use that against myself, my actual experience is just, it's like getting into a hot bath. It really is. It's just the reverse. You know how a hot bath, you go, and you just let it heat you up. So it is important to take a hot shower first for me, just because that sort of prepares me. I can't just go straight in the morning to a cold shower, at least not in the winter. Yeah. And then the other thing I've just thought of with that is, did you ever practice smiling?
I was wondering if you were going to ask about that. I was wondering. No. Seriously, I was wondering if you. And I did. I tried it a couple times, and honestly, and I know we're not supposed to get political, but I honestly just felt like I felt like Trump. That
Oh,
smile.
how
Yeah,
do you
just
know
that.
how he feels? You
I don't
felt
know. Yeah,
like
that's a
you
good.
looked like him? Yeah, say
Thank you.
more
No,
about
I
that.
felt like I looked like him. I'm sorry. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. That
No,
shitty
no, then
grin, but like
slow it
that's.
down, Chris. So you did it and you thought of him and went, I don't want to look like him. He's got that fake smile. Something like that. Is that what happened?
Well,
Something
not
like
so
that?
much that I don't want to look like him, but I don't want to look like that, whatever that symbolizes. It just looked like smug. And that's how I felt at the end, was smug,
Mm.
like that. Just kind of pursed lips, fake ass smile. It's like, you know,
Mm.
I wanted to punch myself in the face. I didn't, but
Mm.
I mean, I tried, but I dodged
Mm.
it. Yeah.
I mean, maybe there's another piece to it. I don't know. As I was just listening to you and sort of witnessing inside myself as I was just putting on a smile, I thought, there's another, there's something I do. I don't know if they're linked, if the smile makes it, I don't know exactly what the cause effect, if it's even that. But I smile and then I soften. It's like I soften and even my eyes kind of go down a little, like close a little bit and soften my gaze. And I end up feeling it here in my chest, not just on the front of my face.
Mm.
So maybe that's a second layer that you could try. It's
Poss
yeah.
yeah, possibly. But I think the other thing too is just like currently I've just got too much like hate and rage going on right now because of all my family bullshit, that it's just like it's hard for me to like actually, like there was a
Mm.
Valentine's Day dance that I went to or around that time, and like it was a small and intimate enough group, and I felt like kind of like an asshole, but like we all did sharing as far as like what love meant to us and how we're feeling and all this kind of lovey-dovey stuff, which I don't really
This
like.
was a talking circle or a dance? I'm sorry,
It
my
was a
brain's
dance. It
missed.
was a dance,
Okay.
and there was an
Uh-huh.
open share and a closing share, and the theme was
Okay.
love. Yeah, and the
Okay.
theme was
So
love.
people
And
talked.
but it was a small enough group that it was like, okay, who wants to go next? But it's kind of obvious we're all going to go. And I just stayed totally silent about that. But the reason that I did is I just got like too much like hate and darkness and all that. I just came to dance and have a good time, but I
Yeah.
didn't really like have anything authentic I wanted to share that like I personally felt wasn't going to bring people down. And it was just better for me to stay quiet. Um,
Yeah.
so
Well,
just kind of in response back to you as far as trying the exercise number 2, I can give it a try, but I don't know if that's necessarily addressing the root cause. I've just got
well, you make a good
too
point,
much
Chris.
darkness.
No, you make a good point. I mean, just like in the same way I just flashed on like the shower. If I'm trying out a cold shower for the first time thinking this is going to be horrendous, I'm not going to like it, or I don't believe this, if I have anything really in front of me that so I'm like forcing myself or making myself from that kind of pushing, then it's I don't know. It seems like you've defeated the purpose before you even start and it might not even
Mhm.
work. So maybe that's what's going on with this. Like you're not really um one day when you're feeling something like neutral instead of I'm ready to rip somebody's head off at some kind of like ongoing level, you'll just be, oh, I remember that thing Harmony said about the smile. I wonder if now might be the time, right? So it possibly, I don't know, I feel like I'm being your therapist now, which I don't think you want, and I don't want either, but
Go
maybe
for
you
it. As
do.
long as you
I
don't
don't know.
start charging
Whatever.
me,
I'm
I think I'm
free,
good. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
No
Free
charge.
therapy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's a soft it's a soft like experiment, but allowing. I like the word allowing. Allowing a smile to happen on your face instead of forcing one or putting one on. And
Hmm.
and 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 and, and I can't even how do I want to say this? I'm totally empathizing with if I'm really angry and you ask me to smile, it's going to be like a growl and not a smile, and it's not going to be taking me into a happy place. So, so yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
At least you tried, and I don't even know why I said that. I guess you're a good student. You're a good student, Chris.
I try to
Who
be.
is who is this tonight? Am I do I sound like me? Am I up on some
Yeah,
weird
yeah,
kind
you
of...
know, you totally sound like you. Yeah.
Okay, I was
But you're
worried about that.
constantly evolving. Remember, I've said that before, though. You're constantly evolving. So I think it just might be just like next generation. You might be upgrading right now. That's
Oh,
what you're
that
doing.
might
Yeah,
be
you're
it.
upgrading. Yeah, it's a software installation update. That's what it is. It's Harmony 2.1.4.3. You were 2.1.4.2 before. So
Dot
now you
three,
popped it
dot
up to
three.
3.3.3.
That's it. Remember the
Yeah.
dot three, and the
And
dot
don't forget
three
to
is
reboot.
right. Oh, that's a nice feeling. Just taking a deep breath with the loud noise. I keep looking at you. You're straight faced.
Well, I was trying to think of what I could do back, but the best I can do is my Chewbacca. Like, I can't do like a deep sigh, but I can do a
Oh,
Chewbacca.
do it.
Ah.
Oh, God.
Well, I was always the big kid, so like whenever we played Star Wars in the playground, I always had to be Chewbacca. So I figured I'd like step up my game if I wanted to be accepted.
You mastered it. That's 2.3.4. Chewbacca. Yeah. Your hair is different too. It's kind of
Yeah, I didn't. Well, this impromptu trip, I didn't. I had to like reschedule my hair appointment, and we couldn't squeeze it in ahead of time. So now it's like, yeah, the whole Justin Bieber hair is coming back for a while, and I just can't. I can't fight it. I'm just gonna let it go. Just let the bangs go and everything like that for now. It seems to be working.
You know, you're just cute as shit. And so not fuck, but shit. Right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there's a difference.
Yeah. Mine is just, it's so overdue for a cut, and I haven't found anybody that I like to cut it anymore. I had this Chinese lady that used to cut my hair for $20 because I'm such a skinflint and I don't make any money. And I'd always like let's see how we're doing for time, a couple minutes before we arrive at the dance. I'd always be like, I'd get home and I'd go, well, she didn't really like trim, like it was mostly good. But then I had to do a lot of, like, I don't know what, like piecework on it, right? To kind of fix it. And I just finally, okay, I'll look for other people. And I mean, I've had 2 or 3 $60 haircuts now that were worse, seriously, and grew out like crap. And I'm like, okay, I think I'll cut my own again. I kind of do that sometimes. So I think I'll have to find Jenny, is her name. She's my hairdresser.
How are you liking it now? I mean, it looks good. I mean,
well, it's grown out a month, 2 months, and I guess it's okay in the camera, but it's like pretty like scruffy and starting to get gray. And I don't pay much attention to my looks except to bemoan my fleeting youth. That's history. I'm sorry. That doesn't come back.
We talked about that before too, that we should take a picture now and we'll look at it 10 years later and we'll be like, look at us.
But we're saving the video. See, we're recording this video and we'll be able to watch this when we're like 95 and in our assisted living beds going, hey, I look pretty good then, right? Yeah, and look at that cute dude I'm with. And he actually was my friend. See, Sally? See, I told you.
Shit.
Oh God. Oh my God. Thank God. Look, here's the driveway you can turn in and we can park.
I almost missed it.
I know. You have a thing for old ladies. I just knew that.
Yeah, I do.
Oh God. So this is it. This is where we rock into the dance.
We do.
Can you name the DJ again? Because my brain just like
Kimba Jade. Kimba Jade.
All right.
Kimba Jade.
Kimba, bring it on. We're here. We're going to give you our full, entire, crazy selves. Take it away, girl. And I'll see you at the end of the dance, Chris.
Look forward to it.